Today in the garage, we're going to be working on my 2011 Ford Explorer. Um, the last, I would say, year or so, maybe 2 years, it's been developing a slight vibration in the car. I've changed the struts, I've changed the ball joints, the control arms, I've changed the control arm bushings, and the tires are relatively new. A different set of tires, and the vibration is still there. I did notice that the rear shock on the driver's side it has been leaking a little bit of oil, just a little bit, but I think that may be the problem. I don't know. I can't see what else it could be unless it's the drive shaft, which. Again, I checked for play and there was no play whatsoever. So the only thing I can think of is the shocks. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into the shocks, and we'll show you how to change the shocks for anybody in the future wondering how to change shocks. Well, this is the video for you. All right, so let me get the car jacked up, and we'll start. See you in a bit. Now, to get to the top bolt holding that shock, you have to come to the inside of the vehicle and take this plastic trim off. All this trim on this side and trim on this side. So it might be pretty involved. We'll see. Anyways, I'll come back to you when it's all off. After taking a closer look as to where the shock actually ends up, it actually ends up inside the little pocket here, and right there is the top. Pull this back a bit. You see, that's where the shock bolt is. That'll save me from taking all this plastic pieces off. Perfect. Thanks for it. Appreciate it. These are 19 mil or 3/4, I think. Okay, let me show you something here. So you see the crust here. The other side's not like that, and I'm pretty sure this is just over the years the oil has been seeping, and this crust is just sand stuck to the oil. So I'm hoping that's the issue. Maybe a better view from up here, maybe. Now we gotta get that bolt out, and the one up top, and that should be it, really. Now I think the note is, I have the car sitting on the lower control arm. If I had the wheel suspended off the ground, and I had the jack stands on the frame, this shock might be under stress, because it might be actually fully extended and holding the control arm up. So with the jack stand right there on the lower control arm, I know that there will be no pressure here on this shock when I take it out. So that's just a note. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove those two bolts, the lower one and the upper one, up in there. Alright, so on this end it's 18 mil, and on this end it's I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but that's a 21 millimeters. And of course I can't get an extension on there because it hits the stabilizer link, so that's why I have the wrench on that side. So I'll give it a shot and see what happens. Not sure if it's welded on there. Now that nut right there might be welded on to the shock absorber itself. So the new one's not like that, so I don't know. But this is a factory Ford shock still, so I'm not too sure. Maybe some heat. Well, I'm not too sure what's going on with that bolt. It might be welded to the shock itself. So I'm going to take off this this thing here, so I have access to the back side of the bolt there. So I'm going to take off this stabilizer link, and hopefully the bolt will come off. It's a 15 millimeter, and this here is a 17 millimeter. So now, now's a good time to check. Let's see if there's any play here. No, feels good. Well, I'm going to leave that in there for now. I'm not going to work on the top bolt. Because I don't have any special tools, I'm hoping that with my impact gun, I can quickly zip this off and the nut will back off. I assume Ford has some kind of wrench that goes along here, and you can hold the shaft with another wrench here, but I'm hoping with this 18 mil and my impact gun, that will come off. Okay. Alright, wish me luck. Oh, right on, bonus. There it is, it's loose. Okay, cool. Now that should just fall right out once I take the bottom bolt off. Oh, that's what the factory top bolt insulator looks like, just for your info. Well, there's the shock, and there's that nut. It's actually welded on to the strut. No wonder it wouldn't come off. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I don't think the new shock has this part to it, so we'll have to swap that over. And that's it. Not sure if the camera got that, but the new shock came with those parts. I'm not sure exactly what this is for. Okay, that's the top nut. That must be for, that must go like that. This is the bottom nut. This is the rubber that goes under the body. on top of the shock. This, not sure. It looks like right here, it looks like that. So I'm gonna take this off, this rubber off, and see what's underneath there. Now this came off the new shock also, so I can see what's going on here. So this this new piece is going like that. This is going to go like so. This is a spacer. It's going to go like that. Okay. We now have a plan. Now that I'm here, I'm going to check this rubber. There's a rubber bushing in the control arm where it mounts. So, looks good. Whew. Now I'm going to go up top there, put this in, hammer it down. Bob's your uncle. Why would they make things simple? Looks like a 19. Alright. It was a 19. I'm hoping the same thing's going to happen here, but by the speed of the drill, it's just going to tighten on its own. There. She's bottomed out, so it's tight. Phew. Alright. I'm going to wait until the weight of the car is on the suspension. You don't want to tighten that nut down and now and then have the weight of the car on it afterwards, because it's just going to stress that rubber bushing in there and eventually tear and wear out prematurely. So always tighten those bolts with the weight of the car on the ground. Another tech tip is exercise a brand new shock 2 or 3 times, because who knows how long it's been sitting, on the shelf sideways, and all that oil has been moved to an area that it shouldn't be. So I use a block of wood, push down, all the way down, let it come all the way back up again, and do that 2 or 3 times. Take the other shock out and replace it, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. Well, I got the shocks finally installed. Everything went pretty smooth. With the stabilizer link bolts back in, yeah, they're in. It was a pretty simple process. I mean, the second one went a lot faster than the first one. So don't be discouraged when you do the first one. It's a learning process. Once you know how to do the first one, the second one is a lot easier. But that's it. Until next time, we'll see. We'll see what else breaks in that thing. I mean, it's a 2011, and it has almost 270,000 kilometers on it. It's been pretty good. I did find the ride a bit stiffer in the back, but I still have a slight vibration. I think it's from the carrier bearing. I did look at it, and I didn't see any issue with it. I didn't see any tears, but looks like the next project might be the carrier bearing. So that's it. Thanks. Bye.